Hi. Great. Time's it. Record time. Hello, everyone, and welcome to our holiday edition of our general membership meeting. We're sorry for the delay. We know that folks are typically anxiously waiting to get onto our YouTube live segment of our meeting. We do have some housekeeping items that we typically take care of here that are not live for the entire world to see. And if you've ever attended one of these general membership meetings in person, you know exactly what we're talking about. So again, sorry for the delay and welcome. We appreciate you being here. We've got some important messages for you tonight, as usual. But our first speaker that we have, and probably our only guest speaker tonight, is Jesse Sigismonti. How'd I do? With Fusco, Brandenstein, and Rada, our workers' comp attorney. So come on up, Jesse.
Gonna say it better myself. So
Try.
Thank you, everyone. So if anyone doesn't know me, my name's Jesse Sigismonti. I'm one of the attorneys over at Fusco, Brandenstein, Rada in the workers' comp department. We do have two departments, so it's the workers' comp department, and there's also Social Security disability. So, of course, if God forbid, if you get hurt on the job, you could contact us for workers' compensation. Or if you're thinking about retiring or, God forbid, have a career-ending injury, we have that Social Security department as well, too. But of course, I'm here with regards for workers' compensation. So if you do get injured on the job, there are a couple of things I want to mention as to some things that are probably necessary for you to go forward with. First of all, is when you do get hurt on the job, definitely notify your employer for sure. So when you get hurt, definitely notify your supervisor or manager on the job, and be detailed with what happened on that day. How you injured yourself, what you injured, and be as detailed as you can to your employee for sure. The other thing with regards to notification is filing a claim under workers' comp. You have 2 years from the date of accident to file a claim. The good thing about you guys contacting us is that we can file that claim for you, and you guys don't have to worry about doing all that paperwork. So, definitely make sure you notify your employer, and also make sure to file that claim within 2 years from the date of the accident. Second thing that's important is definitely see a doctor. Not only that you see a doctor, but make sure that doctor handles workers' compensation. If you don't know a doctor that handles workers' compensation, that's why we're here for you as well too. We know tons of doctors that handle workers' comp on all over the island, so wherever you live, we'll make sure that you're seeing a doctor in your area and not having you go 2 hours away just to see a workers' comp doctor. Again, when you do see a workers' comp doctor, be as detailed as possible. Tell them about who you work for, what your job title is, what happened on that day, how you injured yourself, what did you injure, and just be as detailed and upfront with them as possible, because we use your doctors ultimately to win your cases under workers' compensation. So again, if you don't know a workers' comp doctor, we'll absolutely help you out with that too. And lastly, don't hesitate to contact us. We're here for you, especially when you are injured on the job. It can be difficult, of course, so contact us. We're there for you along the way. If you need medical treatment, we can reach out to your doctors, making sure that they submit those forms and they get approved under workers' comp. If you're out of work, we're there for you again as well, trying to get you those lost wages while you're out of work, talking to your doctors, making sure that they put down on their reports what your degree of disability is, then you get those money coming forward towards you. And then finally, of course, while you're injured, you just focus on your treatment. We'll do with all the legal work, all the paperwork, so then you don't have to worry about all that. You just focus on getting better and getting back to your employer. So, I really appreciate you guys always having us here. We love coming here, of course. Happy holidays. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to contact.
I want to ask a question.
Yeah.
On the 26th of October, I got hurt, but within nothing bad. But I went to the office.
Yeah.
And I said I pulled my groin.
Okay.
I had a hernia before,
Mm-hmm.
and I felt the same thing. And right away, they made a report, and they called the company. They sent me to one of their doctors.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, so that's probably what's called an IME doctor.
Okay.
On the carrier side, they're called independent medical examiners.
Right.
By no stretch of the means are they independent at all. They're definitely for the carrier. It's important for you to have your own workers' comp doctor. Definitely contact us if you haven't yet already. We can send you some doctors in your area.
So far, I'm good.
Good.
But if anything happens, don't just call you guys.
Yeah, so I know you said that you're good right now, but there's usually comes a time when you're not, and it's better off just to have the attorney when you're good. So then when that time comes when you're not, we already know your case backwards and forwards. So contact us. I'm going to be in the back all night. I'll give you my business card for sure, and we'll definitely help you out with that. But we're here for you guys. Hopefully nobody gets hurt, of course, during the holidays. Let's all stay safe, and thanks so much for having me, and happy holidays. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks, Jesse. Appreciate it. Thank you again, Jesse. Always a, God bless you. Always an important message. Everyone knows someone who has gotten injured on the job at some point and or will get injured on the job, unfortunately. So it's always best to be armed with the information that you need or information that you can pass on to someone who is in need of that. So that's why we'll always have our workers' comp attorneys here. We're always happy to have them here because it's an important message, and unfortunately, we need your help. We need your services, and as evident by Jovino and many other folks, unfortunately. Just a couple of things regarding tonight's schedule. We're going to move it along as much as we can, but please, the folks who are watching on YouTube Live, please sign in. Those of you who have attended before know exactly what I'm talking about. You type in the comments that who you are. I'm Joe Waddy from Store 123 of
Which company you want to work for?
yeah.
Go back to Dan Supreme.
Yeah, let's do Dan Supreme, my alma mater. Dan Supreme, Store 123, okay, Joe Waddy, so that we are able to not only identify you and count you for attendance here, but that is also your entry into our raffle tonight. And we've got some serious money we're giving away later tonight, so you obviously, if you don't check in, if you don't sign in and tell us who you are, you won't be able to enter the raffle, and we want as many people as possible in the raffle. Prior to the raffle, we will have a question and answer period, so if you have any questions, please enter them into the chat area. Also, we have some dedicated staff that are recording these questions, and we'll bring them up to President Newell towards the end of the meeting. We also like to do it, obviously, towards the end to give folks time to think of their questions and ask them, and for our staff to write them down. Okay, so check in with us. Let us know who you are that you're watching. Question and answer period towards the end, and of course, there will be a raffle at the end of the meeting. So, thanks again. I guess I'll move on to my report. We have been in bargaining with Blank Street Coffee. Blank Street is a coffee company that we were able to organize earlier this year. I know I've reported on this before, but we're still in bargaining with them. We've been going since the summertime and straight through the summer into the fall and into the winter, obviously. We're still going. It's moving slow, but it is moving. It's definitely not at the pace we would want it to be, and definitely not at the pace that our members there in our committee want it to be. So there's some frustration there, understandably so. When we negotiate contracts with our employers, we typically get proposals from those members, and we go and we meet with the member committee and the company, and we say, hey, look, this is what we'd like to see changed in the next contract, and then we engage in bargaining, and it gets fun from there. When we're negotiating with a company that has never been represented by a union, it's a different story. There are no clauses to look back on a prior contract to improve on. You're literally starting from scratch, from zero. So every single word basically in the contract needs to be discussed and talked about and weighed. So it's a long and difficult process. We have gotten a long way down the road with them, but we still have a long way to go with them. We've been talking a lot about language and the foundation of the contract and grievance and arbitration provisions and all that sort of thing. And we are just starting to get into talking about the economics of the contract, of the wage increases and that type of things, holidays and other PTO and it's probably going to be a difficult road, judging by how it's gone so far. So if we have any Blank Street folks that are watching tonight, thank you for attending. And my message to you, not only the Blank Street folks, but the rest of our membership is, we may need a little bit of a push to get over the
Hump.
road, the hump. Okay, the hump is a.
Sometimes it's a person.
Sometimes it's a person. Sometimes it's a mountain, right? But we may need some help from our membership to come out and help us just sort of show Blank Street that we're serious about getting to a contract. As I said, things are moving, but things are moving slow. And it shouldn't take this long, especially for a company that, the members know what they want. So let's see what happens. But I will update you again at our next meeting, and hopefully my update at the next meeting is that we've reached a settlement and their first contract's been ratified and we're in place. It's something that I really
Pretty
hope.
lofty.
Yeah, well, it's 3 months away from now, but let's see what happens. I would love nothing better but than that to be our negotiation update for Blank Street. But we will definitely keep you posted on that. We've been working on some other contracts. If you've read our articles or heard us speak before at either the Shop Steward Seminar or other general membership meetings, you'll know that we've said that contracts, there's so many different stages of negotiating a contract. There's what I mentioned before, the proposal meeting, the actual bargaining of the contract, going back and forth, scheduling dates and the fights and everything, and then you reach a settlement, and then you get a memorandum of agreement signed from both sides. That's a different aspect of it, and you get it voted through, and then hopefully, and then then you have to reduce everything that you've agreed to writing, and ultimately go to the printer, and then it gets into your hands. It's a very long process. And sometimes it's a difficult process that's sometimes more difficult than negotiating it in the first place. But language issues here and there are things that we all always have to make sure that the right language goes into the contract, mutually agreed upon language gets into the contract. But we're always working on some contract at some stage, whether it's the beginning stage, the middle stage, or the end stage, where we're reducing things into writing. But an update on Pickwick CBAs, they should be going to the printer within the next couple of weeks. We're just tweaking some Spanish translation language there. And our hope is to get that out to you in the very near future. But we've gotten beyond the point where the company and the union have agreed on all of the language that's in there. Now it's going to the printer. And the printer, by the way, formats it, and there are a bunch of changes that goes back and forth during that process as well. So we're getting there. Also, King Cullen, we have met with the company on
2 occasions.
2 occasions with going over the contract. We've got a couple of small hiccups with the language, but we anticipate getting it resolved and getting it out to you to the King Cullen folks sometime in January. So keep your fingers crossed on that. I know mine are. What else do I have on my agenda here? Oh, we have a card check scheduled for this Friday. Card check is, for those of you who don't know, we have workers sign authorization cards that authorize Local 1500 to represent them. Once we have a majority of those authorization cards, we petition to the employer to say, hey, look, this is where we are with the majority of these folks want to be represented by Local 1500. We have a card check scheduled this Friday at Pomegranate Supermarket in Brooklyn. Pomegranate is a kosher market, formerly represented by UPW and then UFCW 1718. And this is just part of our formal process to bring these folks over into Local 1500 permanently. We've done the same thing with the gourmet glots for 5 gourmet glots, including one in Lakewood, New Jersey, and also Whitson's Culinary Group, which was formerly Preferred Meals. All of these companies were represented by Local 1718, and we have been the custodians of them for the past 2+ years, with the understanding that they're coming over to 1500. So we've successfully transitioned 6 locations so far. Pomegranate will be our 7th, and just wish us luck that this Friday all goes well. Okay? I think that's all on my list. That's all I have on my list.
Thank you, Joe. Again, as Joe said, if you have any questions throughout the course of the meeting, don't wait till the end to put it in the chat. Put it in the chat as soon as you come up with that question. Our staff will document it, and they'll get it to us at the end of the meeting. At the end of the final presentation, which may be mine, if I look at the agenda.
Always.
Yeah, it'll be me.
Always batting cleanup.
Then we'll do a Q&A with both the room and any remote questions that came in from YouTube Live. So don't wait to put your questions in. The earlier we have them, the better it'll be to get them addressed. So that being said, I'm going to turn it over to your Secretary Treasurer. And yesterday was our Secretary Treasurer's birthday, so happy birthday, Allie. She's a fine 29.
Yay.
And today's her first day of her, her 29th year. So.
I thought you were going to rhyme wine in there also. But,
Okay.
Wine
is a good thing.
No, thank you. So, your Secretary Treasurer, Ali Wadi.
Thank you, everyone, and for the birthday wishes, too, even though, when they get a little higher, you kind of celebrate them a little quieter, but I'm good with it. Really appreciate you all. Thank you for being here. Great to see you all. As always, I love seeing you in person, so I also would recommend if you have questions, make sure you keep them in mind. Don't be shy, and you can ask questions in here, too. You don't have to put them in the chat because you're here. You heard earlier about all of the successes that the local has had in growth, something that's really important to us, right? So organizing can happen by going in and talking to someone and having a conversation and developing a committee and doing all of these great things. You could also do it by the process that we had at 1718. So that was a very difficult process, I'll say, for all of us. We've never done anything like that, from the rep on the ground to all the way to the leadership team and obviously to our president, who really led a lot of those conversations. So really happy that that was a positive outcome. It takes a lot of work, a lot of funding to run these campaigns. Believe it or not, we do really look at that. We think about everything that is put into that sauce, right? Because if we don't have a product to come back to give you and to make this union stronger, then everything that we did was, was a failure. And we don't like failure. Tell you that the gentleman to my right is really not good with failure. And I definitely resemble that remark as well. So what happened in 2023 as far as growth was that we were able to win Blank Street, which is one of the union's biggest wins. About 138 new workers joining Local 1500. That is what Joe was talking about. We're sitting at the bargaining table with probably one of the most vibrant, most inclusive, most outspoken group of people that know what they want and they know how to get it. Really smart committee, people that really organized this from inside out. They really taught us a lot about how much they could be involved, and we're really looking forward to working with them. I can tell you that there are a lot of commonalities in the way that a lot of workers work in coffee related services. We do have another 2 campaigns, and I won't name them to protect the workers, but I will tell you that there's a meeting that I'm missing tonight, and I'm really sorry, but as I mentioned, and I'm speaking to the folks that are on this call, I would be here instead of there. We do meet routinely with them. And it's very similar in cadence to the Blank Street workers. So very proud to be a part of that campaign as well. I'm not proud of some of the things that are happening with them. So whether you're talking about Blank Street or you're talking about the workers in other coffee companies, there's a lot of violence that happens. We've had some workers that have had coffee thrown in their face. And, you know, as you can imagine, customers are not always the nicest. And I'm sure you experienced that in your locations as well. But we recently had an employee that broke his leg after someone came in and got into some sort of situation with them. And we're still looking into that. We're making sure that everyone that's working at these locations is being protected. And whether they're union or not, they really should have safety at the workplace. It is something that we think about a lot. You should be able to return home the way that you left, no matter what, if you're just going to work. I mean, that's just a simple human right that you should have. Everyone should have that. So it is very important for us to talk about that and to think about that, and for us to get involved as a union to make sure that they're being protected in the ways that they really need it, right? So, as Joe said, we're really hopeful. We're looking forward to getting this contract done, ratified, and applied to these members because they've been at this for a little while. So, we'll keep you posted on that front. I also wanted to let you know that my background has been to be in organizing. So, when the opportunity came up for me to be able to speak to workers, I was actually pretty excited. Something that I've always done, and the way that I've been doing it lately is by talking to staff and figuring things out. But the potential to be able to help workers one-on-one is something that is really second to none. To be able to sit and share with them and really understand what it is. It's also a really great tool when I'm sitting at the table later down the road for me to be able to touch those conversations one-on-one, and I have to hear something secondhand. This is stuff that I'm learning as I'm going through. So when I'm able to sit with their employers, I'll be able to speak from a point of view that's direct contact and not something that I heard from someone else. So I am pretty excited about that. And moving on to some other things that happened this year, we had our shop steward seminar. We believe it was a great success. It was very well attended. It's always fun to get together with the membership and to talk to folks, even if it's via YouTube Live or Zoom or whatever it is. But I'm also proud to tell you that this, I'll knock on wood, as Polly likes to do, hopefully it's the last time that we do it this way. Every year when we get together, and I definitely experienced this when we went from virtual general membership meetings to in-person general membership meetings. And when we were speaking, we were literally talking to Tariq. We were not talking to anyone else.
And as you saw earlier, he's a disruption.
So, and as much as I do enjoy talking to Tariq, because he knows I do, Tariq's behind the camera here in the room, I'd rather talk to you and see your faces and be able to bond and honestly just share experiences. And if you have something that you need from your union, it's great to be able to see you in person. So I'm really looking forward to the shop steward seminar and the general membership meeting too, but also to the shop steward seminar next year, because we will be able to have that in person and we'll go back to some regular business. And To be honest with you, speaking of regular business, we've seen something, and I'm going to totally steal this from Rob, because we've seen something, the increase in organizing and the likelihood that people will partake in trying to become union has really gone off the rails. And I'm really happy to see this. It's really a dream come true to all of us. But what we're also seeing is the difficulty that's being posed during that process, because when you become successful, like anything else, I mean, even COVID did it, right? It changed to fight. They're going to fight us, and they're going to continue to take shots and make sure that we are less successful. So for the membership, I will ask that when we need you to come. We need you to show up. We need you to show up for other people that may need your help. We're going to have some situations that we're going to be taking on, and our president's going to give you a full presentation on those. But currently, we do have some hand billing in front of some stores that have opened up that are non-union, and we can't have that. New York City, New York State is a union town, and we want to keep it that way. If we don't fight them, they're going to come in and they're going to take us for granted. And if they take unions for granted, they're taking you for granted. It dilutes the whole situation. And unfortunately, I can tell you that I've seen what it looks like when union numbers dwindle. And when unions are not winning, members are losing. People are getting less and less in their paychecks when there is no traction with unions. So we got to keep this going. And the only way that we're going to keep going is if we keep fighting. And we can only do that with your help. Another thing that happened this year is that Rob stepped aside from the legal plan, and he asked me to take over for him in his place. And it's something that's been a learning process. There's a lot that goes on there. It's a great benefit for our membership. It's something that I really think that for the amount of money that's put into it, it gives you a better lifestyle. It gives you the opportunity to participate in things that you wouldn't normally be able to participate in, or to get refunds for it. There are times that, life events are going to happen. People get divorced, people adopt children, people have good and bad things. Sometimes people need to make sure that they have a will and testament so that their loved ones have something to rely on, and they don't have to guess. So with that, I just want to call out Wendy, because she's in the room, and Wendy does do the legal services work with. Yeah, come up front. Why not?
Okay.
The YouTube folks have to see you also.
You guys did it dirty because Nick flipped the camera right there. He was going to show it.
Yeah.
Hi, Wendy.
Hi. So,
What-
go ahead. No.
No, go.
But we wanted to make sure that you could put a face to the name, and Wendy Punzo is the person that you would speak to if you're calling for any help in the legal services department.
1310. So 1516-214-1310, or you can do legal at UFCW1500.org. And that'll go right to Wendy.
Thank you.
Thank
Any
you.
words, any speech?
Oh yeah, that's comfortable. You want to make a speech? You didn't know 2 seconds ago you were even coming up here. Speech!
Okay. No, you guys can call me if you need me, like they said.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you, Wendy.
Thank you.
I know someone getting a nasty grab tomorrow.
In an effort to keep more friends on staff and not lose any more, maybe Wendy's a little bit upset with me now. I won't call anyone. I'm looking over there at our office staff. I won't call you to come up and say any words, but just wanted to say that I do really appreciate all of the work that everyone does on our staff. They work really hard. They're here all the time, and to be honest with you, they deal with a lot of crap from us. We're a tough crowd to please, and I love you guys, but I don't apologize to you for that, because these folks deserve it, and we're going to keep asking for more. So whether you're on our field staff or our office staff, they know the drill. They have to make you happy, and that's the highest priority at our office. The last thing I wanted to mention is, been working, we work a lot of routine things, right? Like the membership meetings, a lot of our meetings that we take care of, and whether we're doing something as protocol, whatever it is, there's kind of a grind every year. Been working on launching our website for a really long time now. And I'm really proud to say that with the help of Nicholas and Tariq, that we finally launched the new website. So I'd like you to check it out. Take a look at it. It's very friendly to mobile devices, and I think you're gonna like it. So check it out when you get a chance, and I'm sure I'll have another chance to speak to you before you leave. But in the meantime, to those watching, happy holidays. Thank you for everything that you do today and in the future. And to the folks in the room, thank you. Really appreciate you.
And if you don't know the website, it's UFCW1500.org. Good evening. Thank you for taking the time to come out tonight. For those of you that are on YouTube Live, thank you for joining us. I can tell you that your odds of winning are significantly smaller than the odds of those in the room. There are typically 2 to 3 times the number of you on YouTube Live watching these meetings than there are in person. And the in-person group will have an opportunity in a much smaller ratio to win a $500 gift card, a couple of $250 gift cards, and a bunch of $100 gift cards tonight. There will be an opportunity for everyone to win as well, but they will not have the same level of chance that those in the room have. We pull cards for the in-the-room folks first, then add the internet cards, so the in-the-room folks have actually 2 bites at the same apple to hit the lottery tonight, because it's not your standard $25 Stop and Shop gift card night. It's all Visa gift cards, and I believe the number we're giving out is $3,000 worth of gift cards tonight. So good luck to everyone, and thank you for being here. Nothing would make me laugh more than if most of the cards went in the room, because then everyone on YouTube would be pretty pissed off. But, that's the benefit to coming. That's the benefit to being in person. So look, I want to go through a few things, and I'll try to keep it as light as I can. It's the holidays. The sheer fact that everyone has chosen to take the time to be with us tonight, to hear what we have to say and to celebrate your membership in the union when there's just a million things that everyone needs to do around this time of year is not lost on us. Our own staff gives us the eye when we run a little bit longer this time of year, because everyone's got a gift to buy or a place to get to, or if you're working a second job to try to make ends meet, we get it. So the fact that you've made this contribution to us by being here with us tonight to celebrate is not lost on us, and I greatly appreciate it. Earlier in the minutes, Joe read, or Allie, I think both of them in some capacity touched on it, that the WellScript RX plan is going to be canceled effective 12/31. We were spending a good amount of money, and we wanted the entire part-time membership to be enrolled in that plan. Unfortunately, a very low percentage of our part-timers enrolled in the plan, and those that did really weren't utilizing it too much at the pharmacies. The amount of money spent was a pittance, the amount of money used in benefits, the utilization was a pittance comparative to the expense. So, look, we took a shot, we tried something, we tried it for 12 months. Fiscally, it doesn't make sense for us to continue that, but it doesn't mean that we're not going to continue to try to find an alternative plan in 2024 to offer our part-time members. The goal is the same, is to try to provide more benefits, is to try to provide better service to our part-time membership. That's not going to stop, whether it's the WellScript plan or something to be named later. That's our goal, and we're going to continue to try to do the right thing until we find the plan that fits the best and gets the best utilization, no matter what it's dues money that goes to pay for this. So we don't want to squander your dues money on a plan or on any benefit that's not being utilized. So that is the case. The utilization was so low, they actually gave us December for free. That's not something you typically see with any vendor, but I'm glad to say at least we didn't pay for the full 12 months. We only paid for 11. Secretary Treasurer Waddy hit on a number of points regarding picket lines and organizing activity right now, especially here at Local 1500. And, I'm the lucky one, right? I'm the president when organizing kind of hits a higher gear and people start to really believe again. And, this union was founded on fruit stores, 2, 3, 4 people in a fruit store or in a small stand, and today represent stores at some points with 500 people in them, and warehouses and food manufacturing. So I don't necessarily want to call it anything other than a rebirth. There's an opportunity for us, and whether it's in coffee shops that are small, like the groups at Blank Street and some of these other companies, and I'll take Ally's warning not to try to out any of these other employees that are working with us from other employers, but we were built on small shops. And for us to rebuild and grow continually with small shops is not something that we're afraid of. You know, there are people on this Zoom, and I'm sure there's some folks in this room that did some time work for Dairy Barn. Dairy Barn had over 60 stores on Long Island, and when you pulled up to service those stores as a representative, at most you'd find 2, maybe 3 people. Many times it was just 1. We are accustomed to that. That's not something foreign to our staff. It's not something that we're not prepared to handle. There is no company that we wouldn't try to organize if those members want to take the time, if they want to do the work, and if they want to be represented. We're here to try to guide them to that process. You know, it was reported earlier that a couple of our organizers left us, and they did. That's happened. That's happened more times than I can count in my 30 years. I think if you asked Ally to try to give you a head count on how many different organizers she worked with from the time she came on as a field organizer until the time that she left the organizing department formally and became the assistant to the secretary treasurer, I don't know that she'd be able to easily give you a number. Organizing's not an easy job. There's a former organizer that worked here whose famous quote was, "Organizing's hard," and he said it, and he said it with a level of sarcasm and condescension for a reason. A lot of people want to do it, they try to do it, they're just not successful at it. It's a very difficult job. It's filled with a lot more disappointment than there is success, and because of that, it creates an internal difficulty for someone who's not just born to do it organically. So when we had this loss, when these few folks left us, there really was only one option for this local, and that was to get our secretary treasurer back on the ground and back on the road in communication with these workers. And in a very short period of time, she was able to put some dots together, and she was able to get these campaigns reconnected. And for us, that's vital. It's not vital because we want to win these campaigns so that we get more members, and that's not the principal point of it. The principal point is that if a worker comes to a union for help, our obligation, our moral obligation, as well as our business obligation, is to try to help them. And the fact is that in the tail end of some of these folks' tenure, a handful of these workers weren't really being helped across the threshold. And right now I can say beyond a reasonable doubt that they are all being helped in a manner that they need, and they're all forwarding their campaigns, and we're extremely optimistic about the future for them. But more importantly, we're also insulated from the fact that a group of workers could one day wake up and say, you know, I called them and they didn't call me back. They were helping me, but once we got to this certain point, they stopped. You know, somebody said to Ally when she called, "Oh, I know so-and-so was on vacation." They're not on vacation. They don't work here anymore. And, you know, it's messaging like that that can create an issue long-term for us. It can infect other work sites. It can infect generations of people who look back at Local 1500 or those representatives and have a negative taste in their mouth. And it's more important for us that workers all throughout the state, and especially in the city of New York, understand that's not who we are, that's not what we're about. If you call us, we're going to return your call. If you need help, we're going to do everything we can to help you. We have a great membership, and quite frankly, I'm not the salesman for the organizing department. You are. Anybody who wants to know what this union's about should talk to one of our members. And any member that wants to help us pass that message, we would never say no. We have our share of fights. Currently, we have quite a few. That's not a nature of anything other than companies pushing back against the growth of unions. I think employers and wealthy people in this country are tired of reading in the paper that the workers are reclaiming control of the country. That's a scary thing to a billionaire. That's a scary thing to someone that owns a company. No, it's my way, it's my way. Not if all your workers say different. And in this particular environment, you have workers small and large in terms of corporations that they work for, standing up for themselves, getting together, organizing, and demanding the right to be represented and to have a voice at the bargaining table. This type of action has not happened in a long period of time. And many of those workers, to Ally's point earlier, are a little bit different. They're not as apathetic as some of the members we've represented before. They're very aggressive. They're very outspoken. Many are highly educated and have done so much research before they pick up a phone to call us and say, hey, is there anything you can do? They're 5 or 6 months down the road in their mind before they have their first question. And they'll call and interview a union. No different than you would interview an attorney or you would interview a doctor. They'll interview you. And if they don't like what you say, they're moving on. And it's our job to make sure that we always try to have the right answers. It's our job to recognize if we can help a group or if we can't. And if we're not the right union to represent them, we should try to pass them off to someone who can do the job. Because whether we represent them or someone else represents them, we're never supposed to turn a worker away. And that's not what we're about at 1500. So I'm really enthused that our ST is back kicking asses and taking names out in the field. But she's our secretary treasurer. So that's not the long-term fix. That's a short-term plan at best. But I know that she's going to get things back on track, and then we'll get back to business as usual and rebuild our organizing department. On a really difficult situation, we're going to have a number of picket lines here. I will not announce the name of the one employer, although I may have in the past. It's not open yet, but we're going to have a picket line up in Nassau County. As soon as we know when the store is going to open, we're going to build the roster. Paul Santarpia and Jay Scorzelli will be in charge of that picket line. So if you want to make a couple extra bucks, we're paying $18 an hour. We're not minimum wage folks here at Local 1500, so get a hold of them, and when the store opens, we'll be happy to get you on the schedule. We currently have a line, some weeks 2 weeks, some 2 days a week, some weeks 1 day a week at Aaron's Casino Farms in Kew Garden Hills. If you don't know the area, there was a path mark on Aguilar Avenue. It used to be Kew Garden Hills. Alicia Boak would know where that is. She spent way too many years of her life toiling in that teeny tiny back room when it was a path mark. But right next door across the parking lot was a small market that's now a kosher market called Aaron's Casino Farms. Aaron's refuses to bargain with us. We have 15 charges at the board, unfair labor practices, 2 arbitrations filed, 3 pending, and we have a host of additional legal ramifications coming in the future. We're hopeful that we can resolve this. This is another one of the kosher markets we picked up through the 17-18 process, but this one's been difficult. And we're going to pick at this individual, and we're going to let the folks in the community know that the owner is clearly not abiding by his mandate by the contract. He's not following the contract. He's not bargaining in good faith, and he's certainly not treating people with dignity and respect. So it's a little bit of a different situation. If you're not asleep at the switch and you're paying attention, there's a little bit of unrest in Israel and in the Gaza Strip. So there is, every night you can't really put on the television without seeing some issue with the way folks are being treated, whether it be anti-Semitism or anti-Muslim sentiment. That's not what this is about. This is a worker and an employer issue. In one case, a customer came out of the store and cast a few aspersions at us for what we were trying to accomplish by having this picket line out in front of the store. I assure you we're not going to stop trying to represent the folks at Aaron's Casino Farms, and it doesn't really matter how many court dates or how many times we have to go to the Department of Labor or to arbitration. We're not going to stop until we get what's right there. Those folks want to be represented by us, and they have every right to, so we're going to make sure that that continues and that happens. If you want to help us on that line, also paying $18 an hour, that's a New York City-based line. Please talk to Paul Santarpia, or Jay Scorzelli for that matter. Jay, I don't think is in this room right now, but he's oh, there he is. He's looks like the grimace. He's in all purple tonight. He'll be easy to find. But look, these are the things you have to do sometimes. You know, just because we haven't had a traditional industry situation in recent past doesn't mean that the smallest employer couldn't take us on tomorrow, or the largest. You know, today it's Aaron's Casino Farms or Wegmans picket line that's more of to make a like a Revolutionary War reference. It's more like a Minuteman kind of line. It's up when we need it to be up. It's up and it hits them, and then we're down. We're at different times, different days. It's different unions doing the work. So it's annoying the crap out of Wegmans. Oh, well, that's what they get for Christmas. They won't give their employees a neutrality agreement to talk to a local like ours to represent them. So we're going to annoy them. You know, enough bee stings can kill anyone. So all these little flicks, all these little stings, they will definitely have an impact We don't want Wegmans out of business. We want the right to represent their employees. We want to try to level the playing field and not allow them to lower the working standards, especially in the city of New York where they now have two pretty large supermarkets. Let's talk about a few decent things. First and foremost, we do a lot of work with charitable organizations. One of the ones I'm most proud to do work with is the Greater New York City Councils of the Boy Scouts of America. And our very own Dan Gleason, Vice President out of King Cullen, was awarded this year the George Meany Award. The George Meany Award is the highest award you can give to, I don't want to say as a layman, that's the wrong word, to a scoutmaster, a scout leader. Scout leader. For us, I've had number of labor union presidents and other folks get the Good Scout Award. Those are typically awarded to folks like me, but we've never had a nominee for the George Meany Award. This year's award, having it go to one of our folks, is probably one of the proudest moments I've had as a president. We got to experience that with Danny and his family, his boys, his wife Dawn. They were blown away by the support that Danny's family gave him to get this award, as well as the support that we put around him. Dan's been a vice president in our union for a very, very long time and a member for a substantially longer period of time. And for us, it was an incredibly proud moment. So, Danny, congratulations. Danny is currently the only George Meany Award winner in the entire county of Suffolk, if I'm not mistaken, and there hasn't been one for over 5 years. So it's something that means a lot, not only to scouting, but it means a hell of a lot to Danny. By the way, this is like watching like the online shopping, except the fact that on the left side of the screen, it's like 4 seconds behind the right side of the screen. It's absolute madness every time I look up. All right, so a couple other quick items just to cover. Our audit committee, which is made up of 3 vice presidents from the rank and file board, reviewed the books with the union CPA today. Do you have that letter handy?
Here, somewhere. This side. Yeah.
There we go. All right, so bear with me. I'm just going to read this quickly. In accordance with the Local 1500 bylaws, an audit committee is selected annually by the executive board to examine the trustees and certified public accountants' reports and submit their findings to the membership. This year's committee met on today at 3:30 at the union office at 425 Merrick Avenue, Westbury, New York, and submitted the following letter to me. We, the Board of Audit, met and reviewed all books and reports covering the year ended December 31st, 2022, as prepared and submitted to us by Burden LLP, the union's certified public accountants, and we have found them to be in order. We have also examined the Federal Return of Organization exempt from income tax, Form 990, and the Labor Organization Annual Report Form LM2 for the period ended December 31st, 2022. We are pleased to state that the books, reports, and records are kept in excellent condition, and we feel that it is incumbent upon us to compliment the union's administration on its efficient conduct of the union's operations. Sincerely, the Audit Committee, Raymond Marrero, Alicia Boak, Artan Shabani, and Joseph Reinhardt from Burden LLP. So it just shows that our books have been reviewed for close of the year 2022, and all things are in order. So thank you to the Audit Committee for taking the time to come in and review that today. Did we talk about our new hire?
No, not yet.
Okay. You want me to handle that?
Sure.
Okay. In a couple weeks, when we get through the first of the year, we have a new political representative starting with UFCW Local 1500. Her name is Emily Dwyer. Emily currently works for Suffolk County government. She's a very important person on the staff of County Executive Steve Ballone, and her tenure expires with him. Steve's term is up on December 31st. We were lucky enough to get a heads up that Emily might be looking for employment. We were able to meet with her, sit down. We are very, very excited to add Emily to our team for 2024. It's going to be a crazy year. It's a presidential election year, as well as a host of other positions locally and on a statewide perspective, and we're going to need the help. Emily has an inordinate amount of experience already, so we're excited at rebuilding our program and getting ready for our Get Out the Vote campaigns all throughout 2024 and throughout our jurisdiction. So Emily, we'll see you soon, and in March you guys will obviously all get the opportunity to meet with her. 2 last things I want to cover. We have 2 Tops stores, Tops Friendly Markets. With the one that we represent is up in, I just drew a blank. Rhinebeck, thank you. I almost said New Paltz. It's a little bit different place. Rhinebeck, New York was a former Stop and Shop. Now it's a Tops Friendly Market. We had another one in Wapages Falls that unfortunately didn't make it. That's closed at the present moment. But there were two that were acquired when Stop and Shop merged with Delhaize, if I'm not mistaken. They were Hannaford stores, one in LaGrangeville, one in Carmel. One has absolutely no union in it. It's wall-to-wall non-union. The other has a union meat department, but no one else in the store is union. These two stores are going to be on our radar for 2024. We've spoken with Frank DeRiso, the president at UFCW District Local 1, as late as today. Frank represents an inordinate number of members at Tops, thousands and thousands. Tops to him is like Stop and Shop down here to us as far as total density and population represented. It's a very important campaign to us. These stores have been up there. They've been non-union long enough. And 2024 has got to be the year where we bring them into the fold with the rest of the folks in that area. So for those of you upstate New York, in Upper Westchester and Lower Dutchess County, we're going to need your help. So I can guarantee you, Mr. Pasquale and our folks up in Westchester County, we're definitely going to be reaching out to you to try to get a membership organizing campaign together to work in conjunction, probably with Local 1 and Local 464A, as well as our regional director and the folks from the UFCW International Union. But this is going to be a primary target for us, and we're going to need membership help to get it done. So please get ready. The last item I want to talk about, excuse me one second, is an influx of new click and collects at Stop and Shop all throughout Brooklyn, Queens, the Bronx, and Lower Westchester County. The company's made a shift in how online orders are going to be handled in those areas. They've been currently coming from an e-commerce warehouse in New Jersey. That's going to cease, and all of these stores, some already got the kickstart, was in Lower Westchester, I think a week ago. Just after the first of the year, I believe on January 9th, it's going to kick up in these other locations. Why does that matter? Stores that only do a handful of orders or don't do any of those types of orders are going to start getting orders. And in those areas, there are potentially 200 to 500 orders per store that could hit you on a weekly basis. That's going to create an influx. It's going to create a need for help. All I can tell you is we're very excited to add bodies to the stores, but the one thing we can't have is we can't have the same head count trying now to absorb that additional responsibility. So for those of you that work in Stop and Shops in those stores, if you're not getting the hiring, if you're not getting the new head counts, if they're putting that stress and pressure on you, you got to let your reps know right away. The other stores where we already have a click and collect operation, we have a pickup, and we have in many cases Peapod warerooms handling some of that. This is very different. This is going to be dropped off by third-party delivery. They're going to pull up right to the store just like a customer would. They're going to grab the order and go, like very much like a DoorDash or an Uber Eats would drop off food at your house from a local pizza place or a Chinese food location. Same thing, except it's going to be out of the supermarket. So it's going to be a lot faster. It's going to be probably a little bit more chaotic. But for us, it means a lot more hours picking the product from the store. When we met with our e-board tonight, I had a very simple conversation, and I think it's important that everybody actually takes a second to realize it. There is nothing more that our members get a benefit from than a click and collect order. And why do I say that? Our members unload the truck, our members pack the shelves, and then our members get a cart or whatever device they're using. They walk the same exact store, take that product off the shelf, bag it, scan it, prep it, and then walk it out and put it in the car. There are no more hours, there are no more hands from Local 1500 that can touch an order other than that. In every other traditional situation, you unload it, you pack it out, the customer does the rest of the work. In this case, our members are doing the rest of that work. So the more of these orders come into the stores, the more we're pulling off the truck, the more we're packing onto the shelf, the more can get picked off. It's an upward cycle, not a downward cycle. And if you think about the amount of jobs we've lost through technology over the last 5 or 6 years, this type of situation could put a lot of those hours and a lot of those bodies back to work in your stores. So the more successful this project is, the more members we're going to get to work side by side with you. That's very important to us. It should be very important to you. When it comes time to negotiating your next contract, the more of you are, the better you're going to do. That's just simple law of averages. It's always a numbers game. So for us in those 4 or 5 areas,
Staten Island also.
Staten Island also, thank you. I forgot to write that one down before. It's something you better keep track of. Don't just take on the work. They got to find bodies. They got to add folks to this process. And for those that do it, do the best you can. All we want to do is maintain this business. It left us to go from New York to New Jersey. It's coming back. We don't want it to leave us again. Okay? So from my family to yours, I want to wish everybody a happy and a healthy holiday season. This can be a very good time and a very difficult time, depending on where you sit. You know, many times you work right next to somebody all day long and you really don't know much about them. You don't know where they are. You don't know how they feel. You don't know what financial situation in, whether they have a personal issue at home. It does not cost anything to be nice. It does not cost anything to ask your coworkers how they're feeling. Certain cases, if you ask your customers that, you might get an answer you don't really want. But the folks working next to you, give them the extra look, give them the extra minute. You never know. That question could put somebody back on a positive path. It could save somebody's life. The holidays are very, very difficult for a lot of folks, and most people aren't as expressive as we are. So do your best. Take care of one another. Enjoy the time with your families that you can get. Don't let anybody bait you in those stores. Certain customers come into your buildings because they have nowhere else to go. They yell at you because no one else will listen, and they'll pick a fight with you because there's no one else. It's not worth engaging. Doesn't ever end well, I can guarantee you. And although you may think you're saving face or you're accomplishing something, the only thing you're doing is putting yourselves and your family at risk. Turn it away, look the other way, and I know that's easier said than done, but it's the only way you're going to guarantee, to Allie's point earlier, that you go home in the same condition that you came to work. God bless you all. Thank you for everything that you do for us, you do for your communities, and you do for each other. Be safe, and good luck in the raffle. Thanks. All right.
On cue, here comes
So
Steve
official.
Ziner with the, pop in, Steve, a little more.
What's up, guys?
Steve Ziner.
The beard of knowledge.
Let's see the hearts pop up.
All right, so we got 3 from YouTube Live, and then I'll open it to the floor if anyone has any questions in the room. I think, and I apologize, but this might say Ayush Sharma from Glass 289 asking about our scholarship programs. Gina Julie is your union representative, according to this piece of paper. And Wendy from our legal department can absolutely help you. So if you have questions, you can send an email to legal@ufcw1500.org or 516-214-1310. And Wendy will be happy to help you. I also believe there might be some information in the newspaper in December.
Yes.
So you could also look out for that. The newspaper will probably be out in about a week. Frank Iorio, ShopRite 235, Mr. Molione's member. If your hourly wage is less than the new minimum wage in your county, do you have to let the employer know, or will they adjust it automatically? That will definitely happen automatically. Or I shouldn't say that definitely will. It should happen automatically. If it doesn't, Ralph Molione is your, Raphael, Molione is your union representative, and you can get him at rmolione@ufcw1500.org, or you can get him at 516-214-1358.
Yeah.
There he is.
He's not trying to yell it
Straight
out.
back. All right. Oh, ooh. Somebody's feeling spicy in his vest. Man's in a 3-piece suit like he's some kind of killer.
It's not too tight, right?
Frank, Frank, when you call Rafi, be prepared. He might be a little spicy that day. But no, seriously, if there's an issue, by all means, obviously reach out to Ralph. Multiple members asked if something can be done to protect senior employees as the minimum wage continues to rise. The simple answer to that question is we are looking for the magic sauce. We have been dealing with minimum wage increases at rates that are significantly higher than wage increases that we've been able to negotiate for the last 6 or 7 years. This last batch going up $1 and then 50 cents twice, and in some places it's already indexed to CPI. I wish there was an easy answer. The last set of bargaining that Allie and Joe led throughout the industry, there were different sets of wages. We tried to divide the wage increases based on tenure to try to create some degree of fairness to those that have been in the industry for a long period of time. And we get outpaced by the government. You know, whether it's the New York City Council, the state Senate, or the Assembly, they're trying to do what's best for all workers throughout the state. And in many cases, that creates a beneficial situation. But in others, it creates this impression that I've been here for 20 years and I've put in my time, and now you've been here for 20 minutes and we make the same amount of money. You know, it's an unwinnable question for me, because I don't ever want to see anybody make less money. If there's more money to be made, I want it to be in our members' pockets, not in the owners'. But by the same token, I completely understand what it's like to toil for the best years of your life, and then have a handful of swashes of a pen in a municipality level the playing field for everyone. You know, retail unions are very different than trade unions. In many cases in a trade union, once you've been through your apprenticeship, whether it's 1 day or 30 years, you make the same money. But even in the trades, you've seen different levels, especially in painting and in different trades. It's not all the same. But there is no simple, palatable solution. You know, if the minimum wage goes up $1, the likelihood that your employer is going to raise everyone $1 is 0. If you think about the wage increases we've been able to bargain, if you think about the increased cost of your benefit packages and from the retirement packages, you know, I could sit here and tell everybody Christmas tales and say, yeah, we got it, no problem. I don't do that. I'm not going to lie to anybody. I'm not going to blow smoke up anybody's behind. We do the very best that we can do in any and all circumstances. But if Joe or Allie had negotiated $3.50 in minimum wage increases in a 3-year period of time, you folks not only would have voted yes, you probably would have carried them out of the room. The fact is, it's a pretty unrealistic situation, and the only reason it's palatable is because everyone in the area has to succumb to the same wages. But if you look around, inflation is not just based around what's going on with the federal government. You can't charge $15 an hour for every single person in the store and now escalate that further and still charge $1.29 for a dozen eggs. It's just not going to happen. At some point, the elected officials in our country are going to realize that the more we raise everybody's wages, the more everything else costs. And I don't know, and I've never seen anything that proves that real wages advance when they do these types of situations. Because the one thing that never happens is the owners and the employers never make less money. That never happens. They never go, damn it, I was worth so much more money before they raised the minimum wage. They always find a way to make it work, whether it's reducing headcount, whether it's raising prices, whether it's modifying the technology that's in the store. They'll always find a way to make sure they get theirs. I wish there was a better answer, and I wish I had the solution. But I know that if there is one, we'll find it. I just don't have it as I sit in front of you today. And I get it. I feel for you. I just don't know that there's been we haven't seen it in any of the locals around us in any way, shape, or form in retail, but it's something that we have to continue to try to find the answer for. Best I can do. In the room, any questions?
I have a question.
Go ahead, John.
So they're testing that e-commerce home delivery in Middle Place. I guess they're calling it like gig partner or whatever. What do you think the ramifications would be if down the road they decide to pull the plug on Peapod? And, you know, especially like with like the influx of the Amazons coming and everything. I mean, I see them fucking it up big time. You know, what does that mean for us?
John, I got to be honest. I've said multiple times in this room and others, there is not one home delivery that makes money. Not one. Amazon doesn't make money doing it. DoorDash doesn't make money doing it. Uber doesn't make money doing it. Lyft. Peapod's doing it longer than all of them. They don't make money. Stop and Shop did not sell Fresh Direct to Goodyear because they were making money. You know, they went out and they bought 1 million orders a year. That's what they did. They jumped in with a PE company and they bought the biggest dog in the city. They sold it. And it didn't take 3 years. That was a brand new warehouse, brand new equipment, subsidies, tax abatements to build the building. You know, if you think about all the things that I said when I described click and collect, and then you add the last mile, you add the cost of gas, wear and tear, insurance, the driver's benefit package, the driver's wage, those numbers increase pretty dramatically. You're a veteran. Right? Many people in this room know what things cost. You look at your cost, you know what you buy, you know what you sell for. Do that math in your head, and add the hours that go along with all the click and collect or the pickup and the home delivery, think about Peapod. Think about those warehooms, the mayhem that exists when they're picking. You know, when I was a rep and when I was a field director, I used to refer to it as the insane ballet, because they move so simultaneously in these ridiculously tight spaces, yet they always find a way to get it done. And then there's just this rush to get it all onto the trucks and out into the field.
Chaos, yeah.
And then what happens? Another crew comes in, we reload the space, and repeat. It's a rinse and repeat. It's like going to the dentist. Every time you go, they drill a hole in your tooth. It hurts like a son of a bitch. It heals. You go right back to eating candy. That's Peapod day in and day out, and day in and day out. I don't know how they do it. I really don't. But the one thing I know for sure is they don't make money. They never have. And none of these companies do. But they can't resist the opportunity to do it. Amazon is the biggest delivery and logistics company on the planet, by far. They were in 1 hour delivery in multiple zip codes in New York City with no advertisement. None. They just came in, advertised only in those areas. They did it for a year and got out of Dodge. Walmart bought Jet.com, brought it into New York City, Walmart. You know, if Amazon's one, they're the two. Jet.com, we're out of here, sold it. Massive losses. I don't know how they do it. I just know that at least on the click and collect side, with the assumption that the customer is going to at least take that last mile expense, maybe they figured out something on a ledger that I can't see. You are way more experienced in what things cost and what they sell for than me. If you can't figure it out, I know I sure as shit can't. For sure. And does it make me nervous? Yeah. But so did Scan It. So did self-scan registers. And now you're seeing everywhere because of the organized retail theft. Now companies are moving away from it.
The scan is still scary, they just don't care.
I mean, what do you guys call it? Steal it.
Yeah.
Since the day they put them in.
You know, meanwhile, the customer's walking out the door. You got checked probably 6 or 7 times in the last 3 weeks.
Yeah.
I mean, I would check you too, honestly. I mean,
I don't buy anything in my store because of that.
I don't blame you. It's difficult.
I'll go to another store.
I shop, I don't know if Rob Schnoz, there he is, Schnoz. I'm in that area, I do my grocery shopping there, and half the times I'm in the store, I worry about every interaction I have because I don't want to put a member in a situation where they do something they can get jammed up for. I went into his store to buy gift cards the other night, and I wasn't aware that they changed some of the rules. So they sent me to the desk, and I ask more questions because I don't want that member to do anything that extends themselves and puts them at risk. Then they watch the video, and it's a stupid union president. They got a member fired. Like, I can't have that. But they make decisions every day that you scratch your head, and you just got to kind of go along with it. For now, Click and Collect has added a lot of volume to those stores. Whether or not it's added profit is the question. And, you know, there's a number of expressions I've heard over the years, but the one that makes the least sense but seems to be the most common is we're selling a lot at a loss. And that's a pretty dangerous spiral to be in. But if you're a company like Ahold Delhaize, you have a lot of ways you can offset those losses. Other companies definitely don't have it. That's why you're not seeing the expansion in some of the smaller independent companies into Click and Collect or some type of a third-party delivery because the overhead is just way too much to handle. You'd have to charge $45 an order to even get close. It's pretty scary stuff. Anybody else? Peter?
Okay, the question is, you were talking about the prescription program ending soon and everything else, and you know, most places don't honor the prescription program. What's gonna happen when the people need medicines to be filled?
Well, Pete, we don't have a prescription program for the part-time workers anymore. We haven't since the implementation of ACA. This was a prescription discount card, and if you went into our employers, there should have been no question. They should have definitely taken that discount card. If there was an issue with that, I hope that you raised that concern, because we certainly could have gotten you some assistance with it. But most private pharmacies, they have the right to establish what they do and don't discount. I have no way to control that. But in any one of our pharmacies, they absolutely should have taken it. And in this case, this was a national card, so it would have been accepted in places where our full-timers or our SPTs, where they couldn't even go in to get a prescription filled, you still would have gotten the discount. So if they went into a CVS, their prescription would have been denied because it's a non-union pharmacy. But if you went in with that card, you still would have gotten the discount in the CVS.
Because let's say, because, you know, you've seen it, Rite Aid's going out of business, and, you know, there's not, many places not, will not take that card, you know?
You talking about the prescription drug card, or you talking about the discount card?
The discount card.
Okay.
Let's say if they were going to a Walgreens or a CVS, they will not honor that. And, you know, all the Rite Aids are basically,
The discount card they would have honored in those stores. The members' prescription drug card,
Yeah.
two totally different cards, that would not have been honored in a non-union pharmacy like a Walgreens.
And Peter, you have ACA, so. you
I
have
know, I just want to.
I got you.
That's not, then you're not asking the right questions,
something
Pete.
different.
Correct.
He's referring
But
to.
I'm just saying, you know, because I have a lot of part-timers that will
I got you.
ask about that too, you know?
We can talk about it. We'll talk about it.
Steve will take care of you. For those of you that usually watch Pete during the holidays, he's not in a unitard tonight. He's not in a solid color. He is dressed sort of like a gingerbread man for the holidays tonight, which is a nice difference. I mean, when he looked like the giant banana or the enormous pea pod, it was a little scary for all of us here in the room. But that's Pete's gift to us for the holidays. So thank you, Peter. I appreciate you being here, brother. Are there any other questions? All right. If not, I'm going to turn it over to your EVP and your Secretary Treasurer to make a few people happy for the holidays. God bless.
Yeah. Flying over. Is that her?
Okay, okay.
Just about this.
Well, if you win one, we're going to have to search you on the way out, just so you feel at home. Nah, that did all right. He knows what he's doing.
Oh. All right, so this is just in person first, right?
Yep,
You're gonna pick?
and you're gonna read.
You pick, I read.
Okay, guys, folks, settle down.
All right. We'll announce how much.
This is for the, in the, building the
Yeah.
room, right?
Okay, so we're doing in the room first. All right.
Listen up.
Okay. We're gonna do the $500 card first, so everyone can participate. You'll get another chance later on also.
$500 card goes to.
No pressure.
And not be you.
Darren Friedenberg. Come on, Darren. Yeah.
He reacted the same way
Yeah,
when he won
let's
25.
smile. You gotta look away, you gotta pick a name.
Yeah, don't look, but pick one, right?
Like, what's the difference? I win everywhere.
Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry,
He gets his 500.
sorry, I'm holding.
He's like,
Like,
I'll get 500.
Now we got his attention.
Yeah.
He's like, buck up.
Okay. So, what do we have?
We have a $100 gift card.
$100 goes to Jordan Flores. No, I can't read the last name. Hey, okay.
He looked behind him like you were punking him.
Jordan. Thank you. Congratulations. Please pick one for Jordan. Yeah, thanks,
One,
Jordan.
yeah. This is gonna be for $250.
$250 goes to Joe Kennedy. Joe. Congratulations, Joe.
Thank you very much.
Please pick the next winner.
We'll do two for $200, $100 each.
Two
Okay.
people, $100 a piece.
Yeah.
All right, so this is $100 goes to Nicole Amorosa. That rose hot over there. That rose hot. Hi, Nicole. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Please pick a card. Don't look. This is for $100 also?
Yep. $100
They
also.
loaded my buddy for me.
I will.
Yeah.
To say pineapple.
$100, right? $100 goes to Kathy Brawley. I didn't even see Kathy. There she is, yeah. Hello, Kathy. Hello, Kathy. Can you please pick? Oh, kisses. Oh, nice hugs.
Yeah.
Please pick. Don't look. Oh, okay.
George Roman. There you go.
For $250.
George Roman.
$250 goes to Onassis Abundis.
Oh! It was a $500.
Onassis cleaning up at these meetings. Congratulations.
Like membership has its privilege.
Yeah. You want him to pick any cards? Or we done?
We're
putting
done.
the-
We're gonna put the,
Hold on. The
YouTube?
Yeah, the
YouTube
YouTube cards. Do we have?
yeah.
YouTube cards.
Yeah.
Okay, let's mix these around. Flip them over. Mix them around. Mix it around. Onassis, how many you want him to pick?
2.
Pick 2 cards, please.
They're gonna be for $100
Wow,
each.
2 cards, look at that. $100 goes to Marilyn Cifuentes, Gourmet Galat, 668. Congratulations, Marilyn, and thank you for joining.
That's $100?
Yeah.
This one is for $100?
Yep.
$100 goes to Peter J. Hoffman. Come on, Pete.
The gingerbread man himself.
Come on around so everyone can see that sweater, baby. How many you want to pick?
Let's do 3 for $25.
Pick 3 cards for me, one at
Each.
a time. One. I'll take this one.
Don't look scared, Pete.
Pick
No, I'm
another
not.
one. Another one.
Not that one.
Just one. Just hand me one, Pete.
I know, my hands are kind of slippery.
Yeah, just.
That's happened too much, you bake
Thank
too
you.
much, you know.
Thanks, Pete.
Thanks, Peter.
$25?
Yeah.
$25
Yes.
goes to Ariana Sansone from ShopRite 276. Okay, Ariana.
These are
Is that how we doing?
for the YouTube folks. We're gonna put that there.
Okay. Cool. Yes.
Maybe write it on the back
What's that?
also. For the winners of those. This is the first YouTube live.
I only had
Right.
And
It
now
says-
it's
it goes with
Ariana
that.
Sansone.
And now the last person was also, right? They're not
Ariana
in person.
Sansone is. Right.
Okay. Next one, please.
Okay, how much is this one?
$25.
$25 goes to Maureen McLean. Where's Maureen at? Maureen? In person.
In person.
She's here. Maureen McLean.
She's a Zangrillo wrangler.
How much is this? Plus?
25.
That's 25, right?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
And
Hi. Congratulations. And
one more.
one more.
$25.
$25 goes to Camila Orozco from Gourmet Glatt, 668. You guys have a system here, apparently?
Not real.
That's not
How many you want? Let me get Jovino to pick a couple before you leave.
Everybody be good. Merry Christmas.
Yo, you know what's gonna happen the moment he goes out that door? Jovino Rivera!
Yo, Jovino, come here, man.
Oh, Wally, my bad. My son caught a seizure.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, I got my
All right,
wife.
go ahead.
My wife respect. Give
Yeah.
my hug.
Give me a hug.
Let's do one.
Love you
then.
guys.
What's this
I know these guys
Pick,
for
oh,
30 years
how
or
many you
better.
want to pick?
They would.
One.
Just pick one. Thank you, Jovino.
Jovino Rivera. Love you guys.
I don't know who this person is.
God bless you
Be
guys.
good, Joe.
John Cregan. What did he win? I like to announce what the card is for.
$100.
It's $100 for John Cregan. Hey, John. Congratulations. Congrats. But can you
You got a
pick?
poll? You got a pick?
Yeah, come on.
325s.
Pick 3 for me, please. One at a time. One. It's 1, 2, 2. Bye, Jovino. 3. Thanks, John.
Thank you.
3. These are all YouTubes.
$25.
$25 goes to Ralph Sansone, ShopRite 275. We have a Sansone.
We had
already.
Ariana Sansone.
Oh,
They
damn,
related?
they're cleaning it up. I don't know. One's got an E, one doesn't. Ralph Sansone, you take that? That's 25, right? This is how much? 25?
Yeah, all three.
Okay, $25 goes to Valerie Diadamo. Diadamo. I'm sorry, I'm just reading these the way they're written. Okay. Stop and Shop, $5.97.
Long distance correction.
Valerie, congratulations. And $25 goes to Katie Tikas from S&S Stop and Shop, 559, right?
You got this?
Whose handwriting is on these things, guys? You're killing me.
I don't have these.
Penmanship classes.
Yeah. Izzy,
Hold on.
Hold on.
Can I have what you have?
Valerie?
Chris?
How much was Valerie's?
25.
Got it. And Katie?
Paulie, can you handle
25.
He needs that information. He needs the cards.
Who needs the cards?
He does.
Paul needs the cards. Okay, so I'm going to give the cards to Paul. Not you, apparently. Izzy, come on up. Come on, pick some. Let's mix these up.
Let's go with $250.
Come on, mix them. It's $250. Don't look. Just pick one. It's intense. Fernando Jalon, Stop and Shop, $5.99. Fernando, congratulations. Come on back, Iz.
No, let Tariq the Freak do it.
Tariq,
Get
come
him up
on,
from
come
behind
on,
the
come on,
camera.
come on around.
Get up with those crazy short pants in your socks.
How many you want him to pick?
It's cuffed.
It is cuffed.
Oh, let's do another $325.
Careful, you might get
Pick three,
cuffed.
one at a time for me.
Yeah.
Does it matter to you?
He's looking for the one with the stickum on it, not unless it's 500.
That's one. First one. Well, they all 25. So that's fine. 2, 3. Thank you. Good. Okay. Okay, so H. Friedman, Wild by Nature 203. Is it an H? This handwriting. Okay. Jean Joe Sass. Stop and Shop 545. How'd I do with the name, okay? How'd I do with the name?
Perfect.
Thank you. Thanks, Jean.
I think she-
Congratulations.
I think she lied to you.
That's $25. Thank you. Bob Long. Stop and Shop 2588. Hey, Bob, thanks for joining. $25.
Talkie, can't hear you.
Beep, beep. $25 goes to Bob.
Where's the card?
There's Bob Longs.
I think so.
$25.
There you go. Let's do another $250.
Jay, come here.
So much pressure.
You wrote some of these cards?
Great bait. Great bait.
Two you said? Or one? One card, Jay. Okay. Chawana Campbell, ShopRite 199. Chawana, congratulations. That's $250.
$250, huh?
You gotta make some more fantails.
Yeah, sorry. That's my
Let's do
bad.
Greg, do the money dance.
$325.
Do the a three.
I don't know what that was. That was
That's all you get, Henry. That's about all I can
One
give
at
you.
a time. One. That's my favorite.
I'm gonna punch Joe in the head.
Yeah.
For real.
I'm not looking, that's why, sorry.
They're doing it
That sounds like
perfect.
some bullshit.
Sorry, I wasn't looking, Joe.
Sorry, I punched
You know, that's the box and the cards. Okay, $25
Yes.
goes to Sibahati Shabani. I hope I said that right. Sibahati Shabani. We can clap for Sibahati Shabani. SRS 293. It's YouTube Live. Another winner from YouTube Live is Marquita Riley. ShopRite 289. $25. Frank Palumbo, King Cullen number 8. Let's see Frank. There's Frank. $25. Frank's gonna
Pick
It's not possible we haven't heard Frank Nelson's name yet.
100.
Chris
This is
Nelson.
100. Frank,
Well, that's why we haven't
congratulations.
heard it.
Congratulations. Thank you. Can you pick one card for me, please?
Here we
Don't
go.
look,
He's gonna
Frank,
pick
don't
his
look.
card. He's gonna pick your card right now.
Thank you.
Without a doubt.
It is a YouTube liver.
Oh,
This is for $100?
Yes.
$100 goes to Joseph Thomas, Stop and Shop 562, Deville.
Let's do the last name.
know. What do you got left, Al?
We got $500 left.
One shot, 500.
One $500 gift card.
Oh, that's
I'm gonna mix this up a little bit more. Mix it up, mix it up. Who's picking? Who's picking? Birthday girl?
Wow. It's like going to the bullpen, he's calling the lefties.
All right, I'll do it.
You gonna do it? Okay.
I'll do it.
Get it out.
Don't look.
I'm not looking.
Thank you, Alex.
Just one.
Pick it in person.
Okay.
Pick it in person.
It's not an in-person.
I tried. Sorry, guys.
Everyone's leaving. Wait.
No.
$500 goes to Stan Yonak, Stop and Shop 546, Port Washington. Stan, congratulations. Where you at, Stan? Where are you at? That's it.
That's it.
Thank you, everyone. Really appreciate it. Remember
Emotions.
that you make the holidays happen. Always remember that, okay? And thank you for everything you do. We'll take a motion to adjourn with George Roman and Ray Marrero. Seconded by Ray Marrero. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Want to keep going? No? Meeting's adjourned. Thank you very much. Happy holidays, everyone. Woo!
What time is it?